I did want to address this though. How do you handle bad weather at festivals? Because it can be a slippery slope to ruining your entire weekend, and I feel like you just need to find a way to make the most of it. Hey guys, welcome back to Rave Culture Cast, your weekly guide to the EDM community, music festivals, and more. I am your host, Emma Capotis. Welcome to the new episode, and happy July, fam. I'm not gonna lie, we took a little bit of a break post EDC, and we've just been catching up, and I have so many life updates for you guys and a big Q&A episode. So we're going to be juggling a ton of different topics that I hope are helpful for you. But before we dive in, I got to share a word from one of our friends, Loop Earplugs, who dropped their Tomorrowland edition. It is officially Tomorrowland month, you guys. All right, if you're going weekend 1 or weekend 2, I hope you have the most amazing time. It's going to be absolutely beautiful. And don't forget to stock up on Loop's Tomorrowland edition earplugs. These are the experience earplugs, which is honestly a festival match made in heaven, because these are meant for concerts. They're meant for ravers, for festival goers. They protect your hearing up to 18 decibels, and they really reserve the quality of the sound while protecting your hearing from things like tinnitus. And of course, this collaboration comes in 2 different colors. I have the purple one, which I think is absolutely stunning. The actual earplugs themselves are this like purple holographic color, so they look super cute in your ears. They really, really pop. And the packaging comes with different interchangeable tips. So when you guys open this up, you have different tips to fit your ears. I have danced with these. I have headbanged with these. They are definitely dance proof. And what I'll usually do is just take the package that it comes in and I'll clip it into my bag so that I never lose it. And of course, this one comes with the little Tomorrowland logo on it. So it's a little collectible. Again, if you guys are a big fan of the festival or if you happen to be going this year, you guys can save 15% off with code LoopXEmmaTML. That will save you off of the Tomorrowland earplugs and the Loop Link bundle. Or if you guys want to get 2 or more Tomorrowland earplugs, that will also save 15% off. So again, that is LoopXEmmaTML. I will leave it all linked down below in the show notes. All right, fam, I want to dive into things today. I'm going to kind of keep it quick, lightning round style Q&A. I posted a couple different question boxes on our socials at Rave Culture Cast and just asked me, what do you guys want me to talk about? What questions do you have right now? So it's a range of literally everything you can imagine. And I also wanted to talk a little bit about bad weather at festivals, because Electric Forest kind of sparked this. Obviously, they had two delays. They had one big rain delay, and then they had a rain closure on the last day of the festival. And I was kind of thinking to myself, what advice would I give? Like, how do you handle bad weather when that happens at a festival? So I'm going to talk a little bit about that. And yeah, we're just going to dive into things. But first and foremost, I do want to give a little bit of an update, because I feel like there's just been a lot on my mind, and sometimes I don't dive into too many personal things on this podcast, but I do just want to share some things with you guys. And the first thing I want to say is I do need a little bit of a break. I have definitely hit I don't know if it's like a funk or what, but I've kind of been feeling like a little bit unmotivated. June was definitely like a month for me where I was kind of like retreating back into myself. I was really focused on work. My son got really sick. He's doing much better now, but that was like a whole 2-week thing where he was home with me. So, obviously content and other things is just not a priority when things like that happen. And so, around this time last year, I ended up doing my maternity leave when my son was born from like August to October, and I took 3 months off. And I think that like really allowed me to come back like refreshed with more ideas. And right now I have a lot of ideas, but I'm not like, nothing's like, oh my gosh, I need to film this right now. I need to put out a weekly podcast. I just don't feel called to do that. And I want to like, not spread myself too thin. And I would rather like take a little bit of a break for summer and come back to you guys refreshed. So that's kind of where I'm at. I just like get in my head because then I feel guilty, and I'm like, I want to keep giving you guys content and episodes, and I don't want to let you guys down. And I feel like I've been really quiet in the Facebook group, and I've just been quiet in general. But it's just, you got to pour into other people's cup, but you got to pour into your cup. And I just realized like if I have too many cups to pour into, then it's just like way too thin. And I would rather, like, right now I need to pour my cup into my family, my son, my job with Beatbox, and then whatever is left over, you know what I mean? So I just wanted to speak from the heart and let you know that's where I'm at right now. And I just feel spread very, very thin. And I just was like, I love recording, but it takes so much work to produce the amount of content I used to produce. And I'm just not in the same place in my life that I was when I was 27 and 28. Like, life just looks so different. I have a full-time job. I have a 10 and a half month old. Like, I just have a better balance of like work and life, and that's just how it is. But I've just been like really struggling with that internally because I've slowed down on my production, slowed down on my content, and like that's just been a struggle for me like mentally to come to terms with. So I just wanted to share that. I'm not going anywhere. I love, like, this is still my passion and still what I love. I'm just trying to figure out what that looks like moving forward, because it can't just keep looking the same, right? We have to like transition and like evolutionize ourselves. Is that even a right word? We have to have that transition in our lives, and I'm on the verge of a very big transition right now, and I just need to like figure out what that's gonna look like. So for right now, I was like, Emma, you need to just take a break and just like let this be. I'm not, again, like I'm still gonna be posting. I know I've shared this with you guys, but we have, I think 13 amazing contributors. I call them my RCC contributors who are making content on our socials. So if you guys have seen new faces, they're amazing creators who are really helping me keep putting out content. So I'm also managing now 13 creators and like helping them on their creator journey. So that's like a new thing on my plate, and I've just kind of been like navigating that. So there's definitely a lot more happening on our socials. So definitely follow us at Rave Culture Cast on TikTok and Instagram. Like, we're keeping up with that. I just need to pause the podcast. And that's not to say there's not new episodes coming out. Like, we have two, one for sure, big artist interviews coming that my friend Alex Amaro is helping. I have a couple other interviews lined up, so we're still going to film those. Some might get posted within like August, I want to say, but I'm thinking I'll take like a little bit of a break and come back probably like Labor Day-ish, but I'll keep you guys posted. So anyway, thank you for listening to me blab on, but yeah, it's been a lot of like internalized, really like thinking and about what I want to do, and I just like came to that decision. So yes, so we're going to take a little bit of a break after this episode, but more to come, more exciting things down the line, and I hope you guys enjoy all the content we're putting out on our socials. All right, with that being said, I'm going to start with the questions that came into the Rave Culture Cast account, and then I also just posted this morning. I was like, hey guys, send me your questions, so I have a couple more. So let's just like knock these out. So, all right, I don't know if anyone else can relate to this, but I feel like my friends are done with festivals, but I'm not. So how do I approach going to festivals solo? Raise your hand if anyone else feels this way. Like, a lot of times you might have friends or a friend group that you rave with, and then people grow out of the scene, but you're still like so deep in the scene and you want to keep going, and it's like, okay, what do I do now? So I would 100% say you should do festivals solo. You should go to shows solo. Obviously approach it safely, but do not let that stop you. You will find other people that you connect with, and you know, I've gone through that with myself. But I would say if you're going to the major festivals, a lot of the times on their website they will have recommended hotels and shuttles. So I always found it helpful to book a hotel that is on a shuttle line and then take the shuttles to the festival, just for a safety thing, because it's like, you know, other ravers are staying in that hotel. There's more of a chance to meet other people. Same thing with shuttles. You're getting driven to and from the festival, so I feel like that's just a great option. So I would definitely recommend booking like a recommended hotel on a shuttle line and kind of doing that as a package. And then I would say connect with people online as well. There's so many different communities, Facebook groups, Discord. So if you have a favorite artist, that's a great way to like find things in common with other people. You can join like their personal Facebook groups, go to different meetups. So many different brands have meetups. Like, we host them with the beatbox community at festivals. So many different brands, artists do meetups at festivals. So I'd say like put yourself out there and go to meetups. There's just, so many incredible organizations. There's apps like Radiate where you can meet people. So yeah, there's definitely ways you can kind of like connect with people online and then meet up with them at festivals and things like that. But I say like go solo, enjoy the sets, explore, meet new people, and you will find a new community. Next question was, would you ever attend When We Were Young? I got some of these questions on my Instagram as well. Yes, 1000%. I am interested in attending When We Were Young. It's definitely something on my radar. It just hasn't happened yet. We'll see about this year. October is currently my only month of the year other than December that I'm not traveling. I have so many trips coming up, literally from July through November. So October would be my only month home. So right now I'm kind of leaving it as like, let's chill. I need to be at home. I have my son, but I do like, I grew up as like an alternative pop punk girly. That is like my perfection. I love it. It's such a nostalgic thing for me. So it does have to happen at some point. And I love Vegas and beatbox sponsors When We Were Young. So I could definitely go through work, but I would love to go and cover it for you guys just to give you another genre of a festival. Somebody said rave fashion trends you expect to see a lot of, what's out of style. So I actually had an ongoing list. I'm probably going to make a separate TikTok about this. But some of the things I've been seeing, I feel like I've been seeing a lot of micro skirts. Like micro skirts seem to be very, very in right now. Furry boots and hats. I feel like the furries are coming back again, and people are wearing like the leg like warmers over their boots. Furry hats. I have like a little fuzzy hat that I'm obsessed with, like the bucket hats. I think those are so cute. I've been seeing a lot of companies do like the little O-ring on rompers, so you can like detach the bottom of your rompers so it's easier to go to the bathroom, but just like rompers in general. But I have seen that like detachable element, which like we love, absolutely love, because it's really hard to pee in rompers at festivals. I've seen a lot of crochet, different crochet moments. Fairy sets. Fairies are very in right now. I feel like they're never not in, but I know Lucy, the artist, like has her whole like fairy vibe happening right now. Disco Lemonade is a big shop that does like the fairy sets. That's been very in. I've seen a lot of silver. I feel like throughout the past year, I want to say, I wore silver to Groove Cruise, but definitely seen like a lot of silver collections that I think are really cool. Baggy chain pants, like 90s goth moment. Big fan of that. I have a pair from Trip is the company, TRIPP. Love that. I'm saving that for something in the fall. Hoods. I feel like hoods are having a moment right now, and those are coming back. I'm seeing a lot of people wearing those, and bell sleeves. Definitely seeing a lot of bell sleeves. So those are like all the fashion trends. There's so many more coming out though, but that's definitely been like some of the things that have been on my radar that I took down as a note. Okay, what are the norms around whether festival friends and family can become family outside of festivals too? I feel like that's just like that could happen at any time. It just depends on how you approach it and how you integrate your festival friends with your family. Like if it's like, for me, it was kind of an easy integration. My husband doesn't rave or go to festivals, so I've like slowly introduced him to all the friends that I go to raves and festivals with, because he's like, so just so he knows, like when I go away and I go on all these work trips and I have like this whole other life and universe, like it's been really nice to like invite them over our house and have barbecues here or have dinners, and we like meet halfway. So I would just say that, yeah, like make plans outside of festivals, like introduce your family and your friends who don't go to raves, and like throw a fun party, kind of just like have something where they can come together and connect, and it doesn't have to all be about like raves and festivals. Like they can find other things in common that they connect on. I think that's just really important, just so there's like familiarity there and you're introducing like both worlds into each other. So it's definitely possible, but you just got to figure out a way to integrate that and make sure that both feel like equally important to you as well. Somebody asked me, will you ever stop raving? Are you even slightly over it yet? Honestly triggered. Okay, just because I became a mom. No, I am not even slightly over it yet. No, definitely not. I still enjoy raving. I definitely would say I'm more and more of a festival girly as I get older. Like I just feel the most like free at a festival. I like going away for the weekend. I have 3, or 4 full days of just like music for hours on end, or if it's like a camping festival and you're just hanging out with friends and exploring, and I love the art elements and installations, and like I just love the universe of a festival and like all the things that it offers versus like going to actual shows. I have personally slowed down on just like a night out or going to shows. I mean, in my mid-20s, I would go to like 2 or 3 shows in a week. Like we're definitely not there yet. I value my sleep as a mom, and it's a lot more like, I have to figure out coverage. I usually just drive in and out of the city now. I just went to a show on Friday, and I went to a daytime show at Superior Ingredients, which was perfect for me. It was 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. and I got home, I want to say around like 1 a.m., which wasn't so bad. So for me personally, I haven't been as called to go to shows that are like super, super late. Just because I don't really feel like sleeping on friends' couches anymore. Like I want to come home and sleep in my bed, and I have to be up at 6:30 in the morning when my son gets up. So it's just a different vibe, but I would say definitely not stopping anytime soon. This is what I love. It's my passion. It's my work as well. And I have 1,000,001 festivals and travel that I still want to do. So not even slightly over festivals yet. What overseas festivals do you plan to attend? So I have a lot of international festivals on my radar right now. It's just a matter of like life, you know what I mean? Like timing, what I'm doing with work, how old my son is, how I space them out. So for next year in 2025, Tomorrowland is an option. it's a thought. Will it happen? I don't know, but I do have some friends going next year. So Tomorrowland is a possibility and I would love to make that happen. I do have a friend's wedding next summer in Dublin in Ireland, which is really fucking cool. So I will be traveling abroad. And I was like looking at if there's any festivals like right after her wedding, because she's getting married in August and Creamfields is in mid-August. So if there was a way for me to somehow make that happen while I'm over there anyway, like I feel like I've always wanted to go to Creamfields. The lineup is always insane. The camping does stress me out though. I don't know if I would camp. The camping in the UK looks like a lot, but I would say Tomorrowland, Creamfields. I just saw today EDC Thailand made their first post on social media. EDC Thailand is happening for the first time in 2025. I do not know the dates yet, but wow, would that be iconic. So I will keep you guys posted on that, but that is on the radar. I'm trying to think of anything else. I would love to go to ADE eventually, Amsterdam Dance Event. That's a huge thing if you work in the industry. That's on the bucket list. I was looking up Ibiza a lot this summer. Like, again, I feel like I maybe missed my window to go to Ibiza in my 20s, but I feel like it would just be a different vibe now. I just want to experience that kind of like culture and nightlife, and it's just like a whole different scene for house music. So just in general, going to Ibiza at some point would be really cool. I need to do more research on that. And I'm trying to think what else. I would say those are the major ones that are on my radar as of right now that I could see going within like the next 2 years. Somebody asked, good clacking versus bad fan clacking. Listen, for me, the etiquette is obviously you can do what you would like to do. I think if you are clacking for a prolonged time during a set, if you're clacking offbeat, if you're clacking just to clack, not a fan of it. If it's like a quick little oof, you're feeling the beat and it's like a boom, boom, like a little clack moment and then you're done, pop off. If that makes you feel good, go for that. If it's just the clacking to be fucking annoying, not here for that. I'm trying to think. I feel like I have definitely asked someone to stop clacking before because it was like obnoxious. So you can always move away from the clacker as well, but just be courteous of the people around you is what I would say about clacking. How do you choose your first festival? Great question. I would say look at what you have locally. I would start there. So if you are in a city where you have a festival that's within driving distance, I feel like a local one could be a good option. Like obviously if you're in Florida, California, Texas, you've got a lot more options than other people. Other than that, I would maybe pick like a small to medium festival to dip your toes into, but it really doesn't matter. I did EDC Vegas as my first festival, so like who am I to talk? But EDC Orlando is a really, really great one. It's like, you know, still going to give you everything that EDC and Insomniac has, but that's a great one. And a lot of people do Ultra for their first festival. That one's, you know, chaotic and crazy, but production's insane. Lineup is insane. I would have said Electric Zoo back in the day because that was a local festival for me, but RIP Electric Zoo. I mean, any of the ones at the Nas Center probably are going to be first festivals for a lot of people in California. I feel like in Texas, you have things like UPW, which could be a good one. So yeah, I would kind of just see like what's around you and maybe like dip your toes into something, really you can't go wrong. Sometimes it helps to go with like a rave veteran or someone in your group who's done the festival before, just so you have that advice. That's always helpful. All right, I had a question about a rave fam breakup. This person said, my rave fam went through a friendship breakup and I need help navigating it. How do you deal with these situations when people want you to pick sides? This is definitely a tricky situation, and I feel like as you grow and as your relationships change, if people start dating each other in a rave fam and then break up, there's obviously going to be a change in the friendships and the dynamic, and that can be really difficult to navigate if you're like Switzerland in the middle just trying to be neutral with everyone. But kind of what I would say is if anybody is making you feel uncomfortable or like forcing you to pick their side or side with them to a point where it's like negative toxic energy, I just don't think that's the right friend for you anyway. If somebody if you were closer with one versus the other, I think it makes sense for you naturally to like go back with the friend you were originally closer with and friends with. But just don't be so hard on yourself. Like as you grow up, a lot of your friendships are going to change and dynamics are going to change. And so rather than like resisting that and forcing things to be the way they were when it's just not going to happen anymore, I think you should still go out, still enjoy, you know, raves and festivals. Like don't let that deter you from, you know, enjoying your hobby. And maybe just try and do different events with different people if that's an option. Maybe try and explore meeting some new people as well, just so that it's a new rave fam and dynamic and it's not a lot of the same butting heads. But I would just say if anybody's energy makes you feel uncomfortable or forcing you into something, maybe just like reevaluate that friendship. All right, friends, I'm taking a quick break to let you guys know that I am selling tickets to some Insomniac events. So if you guys need tickets to 3 Points in Miami, or you need EDC Orlando tickets, I got my EDCO link for you guys. So I'm going to link my Insomniac links down below if you guys want to support me and my channel. I very much appreciate it. So right now I got 3 Points, EDCO. Not sure again what we're attending. No idea yet. EDCO is a possibility, but I will let you guys know. But if you need content, I have a whole playlist on EDC Orlando that I'll link down below as well. But yeah, just wanted to let you guys know I got those tickets available for you. Just check them out in the show notes. All right, with that being said, let's get back into the episode. Okay, I'm popping over now to my little question box on Instagram, and literally the first one is, are you going to EDC Orlando? And somebody else asked me, so we'll just get this out of the way. They said, what events are you hitting the rest of the year? So this is kind of like how my year panned out. I have a lot of travel with Beatbox, with work, just because we just have a lot of work trips. So this month I'm actually going to LA. When this episode comes out, I'm in LA, which is really fucking exciting. So we have like our team meeting, just like our little digital team in LA and Laguna Beach, which is so exciting. So pumped to be out here. And then we have another work trip in Houston in August. And then I go on a family vacation in August to South Carolina. So this summer was like festival free, just doing a couple shows here and there. So really it comes down to the fall, and I'm pretty open right now. I am going to Red Rocks. All of that is booked. It's my first Red Rocks experience, and it's 7 Lions, so it could not be a more amazing trip to go out there for. So hopefully I'll see you guys there. That's Friday, September 27th. So that's my thing in September. I have a friend's wedding in September. October is... Oh, actually, no. Then I have another trip. Literally the week after Red Rocks, I'm going to Scottsdale for the first time for another Beatbox work trip. So I just have like a lot of travel. And again, that's just really hard to navigate with my son because it's more pressure on my husband. It's more pressure on my parents. Like they have to come help. So I got to like pick and choose my battles when it comes to festivals, but I'm like committed to Seismic. I'm trying to, figure out situations. I don't have tickets yet, but like I have been wanting to go to Seismic dance event like the last 2 years, and it was always the same weekend as EDC Orlando. And so I was like, nope, we got to do it this year. We're going to make Seismic the decision because it's House and Techno Festival in Austin. My girl Vibe with 8 is in Austin, so I'm going to be with her. Beatbox is based in Austin, so I'll probably get to like work out of the office there. And Eric Priz was on the lineup, so I was like, done deal. This is the year. But then I Googled it, and then I found out EDC Orlando is the weekend before Seismic this year. Usually they're the same. So then the wheels started turning, and I was like, Emma, don't do this. Don't do this. So I don't know what's going to happen. I'm not saying I'm going to EDCO yet, but Beatbox sponsors it, and we are working on some really fun community-related things, and that's my job. I'm the community manager of Beatbox, so I'm trying to plan some like really fun things for the community to do there. So who knows, maybe I'll end up going to like 2 days of EDCO or something like that, but that's the plan as of right now. And then I have Groove Cruise in January, so that rounds out the rest of the year. Somebody said, when is your next Electric Forest? Your YouTube videos were so helpful this year. I'm so glad you said that. Dude, I had a lot of FOMO this year. I'm not gonna lie, even with the rain, even with the issues. Oh my God, I forgot to talk about the bad weather stuff. Okay, we're gonna come back to that. Even with all the issues, it just continues to look more and more beautiful every single year. The Dream Emporium looks incredible, and that was not there in 2022. It was the hangar, and they've like gone all out with the Dream Emporium and like all the little activities in there. So I definitely did miss it this year. So it's on the radar for 2025. But again, like I mentioned in the beginning of the episode, I'm also feeling like international vibes for next summer. So we're going to have to see. I did want to address this though. How do you handle bad weather at festivals? Because it can be a slippery slope to ruining your entire weekend. And I feel like you just need to find a way to make the most of it. Now, it obviously depends if bad weather completely cancels an event, completely different story. But if it's a 3 or 4 day festival and you're dealing with some bad weather, so you're just dealing with like rain delays or, slight cancellations, but then the festival comes back on, sort of like Electric Forest Day 3, I feel like your attitude has to be everything in those scenarios, and you just need to make the most of it, because it's really easy to like blame the festival for everything that's happening, but weather is uncontrollable. There's things that just happen. It's Mother Nature doing her thing. But I really think it all comes down to preparation first and foremost, especially if it's a camping festival, like making sure you've got everything staked down with really heavy stakes so nothing blows away. Maybe you have plastic bins that you store things in so you don't leave everything out when you're gone, or you put things in your car just in preparation. Packing a poncho is always a huge thing. For me, it's all the difference in the world when I've been at festivals and it started raining and I've had a poncho versus when I haven't. If I have a poncho, I'm raving in the rain. I'm having a great time. I've done Project Glow every time it's rained. I've been ultra. I've also been at ultra when it's poured and I was completely soaking wet, didn't have a poncho, was trying to hide under a tree, and it was completely miserable. So it really depends on how prepared you are going into it and then making the most of it. Can you go have a party back at your campgrounds? Can you go do something else? Can you go back to the hotel and just enjoy the time with your friends? Can you go to an after party? Like, there's ways to salvage a weekend when the weather is bad, and then there's ways to just like throw in the towel and be like, this is shit, I want my money back. So you got to make that decision of which way you're going to go with it, and I'm always going to choose the way of like making the most of it and rolling with the punches. So definitely just keep that in mind the next time there's super bad weather at a festival. Okay, somebody said, are you doing Shambhala? Are you doing Lightning in a Bottle? So Lightning in a Bottle is also on my radar for 2025. Just to go over my schedule, I would say Groove Cruise is booked. Coachella ticket is booked. I'm going weekend 1, my first Coachella. I'm so excited, you guys. I love when I get to do a new festival because I get to get you guys new vlogs and new content. Lightning in a Bottle is on the radar for next year. And then, like I said, maybe Forest, maybe Tomorrowland, like kind of open. Somebody said, are you looking for partners, volunteers, or interns for Rave Culture Cast? That's a great question. Honestly, I'm still very much navigating it. I know it takes me a lot to ask for help, and bringing on my 13 new contributors was a step in the right direction, and they've been amazing. So right now I'm not looking for like any more creators. I am maxed out on creators. But in the future, I'll probably be looking for a video editor or something at some point. I do have a virtual assistant now. Her name is Ashley. She is absolutely fantastic. I've worked with her before, and then we took a break and now she's back. So that has been a lifesaver. But I will definitely keep you guys posted, you know, if and when this expands in the future, if I'm looking for more people. How is momhood treating you? Honestly, amazing. I've loved every stage, like post 6 months, it's just gotten better and better and better. The beginning was really, really hard. Newborn stage was super hard for me. Then he had like a 5-month sleep regression that was absolutely brutal. And then like once he hit 6 months, he turned a corner, and it's just been more and more and more fun. I just love seeing his personality come out. Like it's amazing. It's a lot to keep up with. He's eating like full meals 3 times a day now. So now I'm cooking for him. But he's just such a joy. He's so funny, and I feel like getting to like relive some of your childhood things, like watching Disney movies together and just being like letting my inner child out to play with him is just so good for my soul. So I like am obsessed with him. It's not even funny. We're glued to each other. So I absolutely love it. It's a big balance. So yeah, it's been amazing though. Thank you for asking. When's the next podcast coming out? You guys are watching it right now. And then, like I mentioned, I'm going to go on a little bit of a break. Have I listened to Trivecta's newest release, Alaska, yet? No, I haven't, but I absolutely love Sam and love to support him. So I'm going to go listen to it right after this. What is the meaning of life, though? My friend Payne asked that. You know what? We'll ponder that at Groove Cruise next year. Somebody else said, how have you been? How is being a new mom going now? Thank you guys for asking. Like I said, I was in a funk for most of June. I really was like internally struggling and just kind of like was unmotivated and just, I don't know what I was going through. But within the last few days, I have like I don't know, there was a new moon yesterday and I'm feeling the new moon vibes. I feel more refreshed. I've made some decisions that I think are going to be very good for me. And I've kind of just been like, life is too short to be in a funk. Like we need to just get with the program, girlfriend. And so many amazing, incredible things are happening. I'm happy and healthy. I have my son, my family, my job. Like literally, what is there to be in a funk about? So I'm doing much better now. I'm very excited for all of the travel. I'm very excited for a vacation and like all those good things. But I do miss festivals, guys. If you're like me, which you probably are because you watch this, I'm like, I haven't been at a festival in 7 weeks and I'm like tweaking out that I need to go to a festival. So November is looking really nice. And that's it. Those are all the questions. So I'm going to just wrap things up here, you guys. Again, thank you so much for listening to me blab and for hanging out with me and sharing this space with me. Like I said, I just want to continue being honest and continue this brand of Rave Culture Cast in whatever capacity that looks like. I'm just trying to figure it out. So thank you for having like patience with me to figure it out. But yeah, lots going on our socials. So please give us a follow at Rave Culture Cast on all of the platforms. I will link that all down below. Basically what you can do to support this podcast is obviously share a link with friends, tweet this out, make it your Instagram stories and tag us in it, or just tell somebody about this podcast. That means the world to me. Rate, review, subscribe, do all the things, and I will see you very soon, hopefully sooner than you think, with a new episode. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.